Bill.
Yeah, we got the debate. Y'all know what it is? Bam. That black guy with the power shirt right there. We gonna put some work in there. Go out here and interview the sister. Got that table, them big DVDs. We just gonna get it in right now. You already know what it is. Easy. Don't go out there and interview our sister Mayot real quick. Alright, yeah, we get it set up.
Yeah, we're here getting it set up right now. Getting the table set up and everything ready for the event.
Because y'all already know what it is, man.
Yeah, it's going down.
It's going down.
Digital.
This real doctrine is done. Let me show you how the Honor Raw Squad get down. Watch that.
Bigger table next time. Ain't nobody using this table?
But I ain't know if you might
You're using it. Shit. Take advantage of it right now.
pre-order these shirts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like that. How to deactivate your Willie Lynch chip. We got this. Niggas pick it up. You know what I'm saying? We need you to deactivate that Willie Lynch chip, okay?
Let's go out here. Let's go out here and find
I'm sorry about that, bro.
Let's go out here and find a chance real quick.
So what we doing?
That crazy guy. Hey, that's that crazy Mo right there. Yo, so wait a minute, yo.
So what we dealing with now is the fact that even they use the Bible, which is the God of the Bible.
Okay.
Listen, they use
Introduce
the Bible
yourself.
and make the God of the Bible.
Hotel family, my name is Dr. Mayot. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, getting ready to do my thing on the Raw Squad Up with my man, brother
Man, introduce your people.
All right, I got my son Isaiah with me. I got my heart, my cousin. We call him Big Lou. He's with me to have my back to make sure that everything is everything. And then I have my two other kids there inside, my daughter Brianna and my son Harvey. And my best friend is going to introduce me. Her name is Queen T, so she's going to come and bless. She's going to come and bless us with some poetry. I'm getting ready to spank him. It's all in love though. I love Israel Doctrine, and I want y'all to see this. I love this man. So it's all in fun, not fun.
We got a bridge for sale if you're willing to buy it.
So it's all in love. Everything you see on stage is all in love. At the end of the day, this is my brother, this is my friend.
Female, male principal on stage, we want that knowledge be born.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's Israel Doctrine. Hey, that's his look. That's Israel Doctrine. See his love right here, right?
He shook my hand, didn't even really know who I was.
I ain't know who he really was. I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's my man right here.
Only just a time.
That's my man right here.
Like you just.
It's my boy. Don't say nothing.
From 1913 over.
Smile at him. Don't be smiling, yo.
Bible. We out here making history tonight, you know, male and female principles. We're gonna let knowledge
That's
be
right.
born.
That's right. First time that a female has debated in the House of Consciousness.
Black power.
The first time. That's right.
It took,
That's right.
it took her first L, first female to lose in the House of
I'm
Consciousness.
not losing, ladies. I'm not letting my queens down.
He
Trust me, I'm gonna represent.
already get roasted right now. hey, hold on. I ain't leaning to one side. I ain't leaning. You can trust me. I ain't leaning. I'm biased.
Yeah.
I'm
He's on that
unbiased.
lean.
I'm unbiased.
The symbols is going to tell you all about what's sad. What's leaning on? See the symbol? It's a little bit different. See the symbol?
Yeah, here, Roo over
Break it down. It's science.
That's right.
I just have to show
right.
what's tatted on me.
That's right. The cobra.
I'm gonna show my
The rage.
This is what it's all about.
Family. Prince
I don't care what nobody calls it, so it's all about family and the bloodline and protecting the children.
Conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for that's the whole duty of man.
Hey, Israel Doctrine.
Go bring them judges.
Israel Doctrine. What you gonna do tonight? Let's talk about
I'm
that.
gonna let the Bible speak.
Okay.
See, in the House of Conscience, you never been through the book that much. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let the scriptures come out, speak for themselves, and she gonna have to defend herself against what's written. If she don't show that she know what's in that book, she stumble, you're gonna have to question if she know what she talking about. If she know, she might convince you. You might get that bridge from her. You know, if you got enough, she might sell it to you. But if not, you know, you're gonna be bridgeless.
Sis, don't say nothing.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
It's over with before we even start.
Before we start, it's already over. It's already dead in the water.
Let's go and take the vote. Who all on her side?
Black African
Black
power out here.
Black power. Black African power.
All right.
So they say I gotta do some convincing.
David.
I gotta do some convincing.
Hey, we still your brother though.
No, it's all good. If you my brother, we got the same father.
Israel Doctrine, Prince Yakanaya, this word side repping all day, you know what I'm saying? Tribe of Judah, you feel what I'm saying? The God of the Bible is not an enemy.
And then if you say an enemy to who?
To sin or evil, that's common sense.
To
You know
who?
what I mean?
To who? That's the question. That's the only question. To who? So either he a respected person or he's not a respected
this right here,
person.
man.
All that do righteous is righteous and all that do wicked is wicked.
There's always one in the crowd, yo.
Hold up. Put it back out there.
That's the circle.
Let me zoom in on it. What it say on the cover there? Let me get that.
That's the circle 7.
That's all you need right there.
True, I lead.
Come on, get the queen team. Hold on, we're gonna get back to that. We got you. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
It ain't
Hey, that talk about Jesus, the God of the Bible, don't it?
What?
That talk about Jesus, God of the Bible.
Understand. Jesus is justice,
let that
brother.
sister-
So you gotta understand the degree of what
Let that
nobody
sister get here first.
talking about.
Whoa,
Never my sisters right here. Hey, we black power. Hey, we
Got
black
Jesus
power.
in there now.
Peace and
Go talk to him,
blessings.
sis.
Peace.
Talk to him.
Cut it with the fans down.
Nah,
I'm just here to.
What we gonna do tonight? You gonna spit some poetry tonight, right?
So
So understand that when we talk about Jesus,
Bit of
we talk
words
about
to
principles.
introduce powerful sister.
We talk
Say it
about
to
law
them.
and government.
Listen
And
now.
laws we deal with
Share
understanding
some
like
wisdom.
Let me ask you a question. Did he exist or is this a principle or a
This up
fable
here they go.
explaining
Here they go.
right,
a concept? Some sort of concept,
Because in
or is it
1920
speaking historically of a person?
Right, so
that
I'll break
existed?
that down. So yes,
Just
so
real quick.
the prophet Yahshua was a man who did walk.
Okay, there we go. We're gonna look.
He walked the earth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
So the issue with him in Rome is the same thing that we as black men are going through right here in America.
Right.
The different oppressive doctrines that they use to keep us confined. So what we also is saying that Jesus is also a degree. And one of the one-on-ones he says Jesus means justice. So we understand
So how you
it's a
figure it's
principle.
even less in the Bible?
What you say?
It's either more or
But
less in the Bible.
No, I can break down what the Bible is. Let's be real. I don't deal with Christianity from a religious perspective. Christianity is a nationality. Let's be clear on this.
No, it's not.
No, yes, it is. That's the first time when the European had any type of organization to push the Moors out of controlling them. Christianity
mean
or
it's a
Catholic.
nationality.
No, yes, when I say nationality, it's a body politic.
So what color
Let
is
me
a
finish.
Christian?
Let me finish. It's not a color. Let me break
speaking
this
more of
down.
an entity.
Exactly. Christianity or capitalism was the first organized party that the Europeans understood different principles from.
So you say it's a nationality.
Yeah, because what is nationality? Nationality is your body politic. your way of using your organization.
Okay, but by default of the nature of the formation of Christianity, that would be a nation under a nation, because we already know that when you're talking about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, these are described as the faith of Abraham. So even if that is their nationality, by virtue of the formation of it, you feel what I'm saying? It's like they're swagger cats, for lack of better expression.
Because I understand that our people
They
talk.
believers. We ain't dealing with believers. We gonna deal with the people who know. I just want to get the family.
You can't deal with nothing but belief. How you gonna deal with something other than belief if you wasn't there scientifically?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, my bad.
Dr. Mayot, my cousin.
That's right.
We here.
Hey, that's Baltimore in the house.
Queens.
Baltimore, that's
Hey, let's talk about that. Hey, what that symbol? Somebody explain that symbol to me, man. What
Go
is
ahead,
that?
go explain it to him. Go explain it to him, Isaiah.
This light bulb and the spiderweb inside represents illumination and knowledge being spread out to the world.
This is a Ghana symbol that means creativity and wisdom. So the light bulb represents the mind, and what we're trying to do with Ed Anime Productions is illuminate your mind. We're trying to open your mind and teach you something. So tell them about our first project, Meltrek.
Alright, our first project, Meltrek, is basically teaching people about teaching African people about our culture and our ancient culture about us. It basically brings 5 children through Africa and teaches them about different cultures and different areas in Africa, and explains to them that they come from greatness.
That's right. So they can be great. And we teach them specifically about Kemet. We take them through Kemet, over to Ghana, Mali, Songhai, down to the Congo, Zimbabwe, and Zulu. So as my son said, we're taking them on a journey, and that's what Meltrek stands for. Mel is short for melanin. Trek means journey. So we're taking you on a journey to understand the history and culture of a melanated people. So that's hence the name Meltrek, and that's our first project. We plan to is coming soon. We plan to release it the end of this summer, but the end of June we're going to have a trailer that we're going to show you all. So stay tuned for that. Black Power.
Outside.
Yeah, we got. Hey,
Y'all gotta go see Queen Afua. She in there dropping the science.
Yeah.
what you talking about, man? We right here with the
You got the worms in you, homie. You got the worms in your gut right now, eating that flesh.
I ain't eating them on with Inky. I'm eating like Inky said Inky.
You gotta eat like Inky, man.
Hold on, man. Get back to this Baltimore
Oh,
family.
no, I'm gonna put that on the t-shirt, you don't mind?
Like it's a heavyweight.
Maybe some money off your brand.
We on the fast right now.
That's what it
So I'm
is.
going in there to talk about the fast. I'm starving right now.
What's that?
This is not
Some
for me.
pork chops, man. See? I caught you.
No, this is for my children. I got my 4-year-old, my 10-year-old. I got babies in there. So this is strictly vegetarian collard greens for
That's
the
right.
babies.
That's right.
Vegetarian collard
Now,
greens.
I'm not gonna talk about what I see in the back trunk of. Got empty buckets with grease in it. Got empty buckets with grease in there.
Brother, say it ain't so.
It ain't so. I ain't got no
So
bucket. Hey, look.
He got no chicken in there, but he got them buckets in there.
Hey, look, it's gonna be a good event tonight, man. So, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a good one. Israel Doctrine. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
We already done settled the whole thing.
Who is Israel?
You can have that?
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's,
Israel
it's
Doctrine
no
right there.
God and no text that's an enemy to his people.
Say that again.
There's no
But
God.
see, God is
Say the
man's
camera.
ideal.
Say it to the camera. Say it to the camera.
There's no God and no text that's an enemy to his people. Now,
He just committed suicide.
There's no God.
Literary suicide.
He just
no
committed
God on paper.
suicide.
no God on paper.
No, you can't debate him. He got the paper. Look,
Look, man, this shit
Hey,
right here.
hey,
Let me write this down.
He said, do we want to go as the Inky or we want to go now? And I'm ready to go now. I want to chop his head. Oh,
Yeah, we supposed to.
Hey, go
I'm ready to chop his head off.
Hey,
I'm just ready to chop his
Y'all the
head
main
off.
event.
I'm just ready to chop his head off.
How you gonna chop the head off of God?
got him. All right, I got him.
They on the
What you gonna do though?
You go get it. Oh, man.
Come on, let me get on and get out the way for them.
Oh, so y'all support.
Inky, how long what you doing? About 30, 40? What you doing?
God is the enemy.
It's gonna
God
be
is
long when he crack it.
Oh, Lord.
not.
God is here.
Y'all 2.5 hours. Y'all the main event. I'm just going there and, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
The God of the Bible is our enemy.
Talk about elephant. While Unc and a couple of other niggas been ducking me. That's what I'm gonna talk about.
Hold up.
I'm supposed to have 4 people in here debating me on June 5th. They all stepped down. All of them. All of them. Including 1, 2. They out here. I'm going inside. They out here. Get their excuses on camera and all that shit while I'm gone. They can talk more reckless when I'm not here. When I'm standing here, I'm listening. When I go inside, they gonna talk reckless.
One question for the
Christians who were under oppression. So Jew Ali couldn't have started talking Yahweh.
Hey, look, check this out, man. I ain't want to get him while he was on his little fast.
He dropped the Jew
pass out right
to
now.
grow into
if I start spitting on him, he be done.
This is 1913. You know, this what he had to give. He said, "You love Jesus so much, I'm gonna tell you the things that the Christians ain't gonna tell you about Jesus."
They over there having that Jesus Christ argument. Go ahead, get that to them. What about
Ain't no Jesus Christ argument.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even do it.
Let's get back to it.
That name is
Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it
We
now.
gonna kill this guy.
Now that's the question. Hold up. That's the question.
I'm gonna tell
Do
you.
the God of the Bible exist?
God.
To who? Who out here saying
You know what God is? God is.
Tell me who out here saying
I'm gonna tell you what God is. No, it's not a dude. I'm answering his question.
Oh, you answered the question.
It's not a do he exists because a man's God is his ideals. Let's get to the root of the understanding. Like I'm
talking literal.
We finna answer the question, brother, because the prophet already let us know. He says, "I pray to Jesus, tell who is this Allah you speak about? Where are his priests, his temples, his shrines?" And Jesus said the Allah I speak about is everywhere. He cannot be compassed with walls nor hedged about with bounds of any kind.
He all in all.
Let me finish. Right. All people worship Allah, the one, but all people see him not alike. The universal Allah. You don't get caught up on the name. Listen. Listen.
Hold up.
Let me answer the question, brother.
Do Allah exist?
Listen. Watch this. Listen. Are you gonna listen? Watch this.
No,
Listen, brother.
Hit that dancing machine for me. Dancing machine.
Now you gonna listen, brother. Watch this. It's gonna be clear.
Don't crack no jokes with him.
Listen. It's
Crack
gonna
no
get
jokes with
clear.
him, yo.
It says the universal law is wisdom, will, and love. So to answer your question is, does wisdom, will, and love exist? Yes, it do. Because I'm not caught up on the name of Allah. You can call him Jehovah. You can call him this, that, and the third.
The question is, do he exist? Not do wisdom exist?
Nah, listen to my doctrine, brother. Listen to my doctrine. The Allah that we talk about.
Highlighted. Look, about the term.
This is simple. This is simple as it get. If God don't exist right to him, then how can he be an enemy to him? And if that's what God is,
the Bible, the
listen,
God of the Bible
back up a little bit.
look, and if that's who God is or Allah is, wisdom, justice, and all these principles,
right? It is.
All these principles, then God exists, and them principles don't sound like
let's get this,
an enemy to me.
Let me make this
If I love you, you're not my enemy. If I hate you,
right? Because
now you're my enemy.
If God is love to you, then we believe in the same God. But let me explain to you why I don't want.
That's what the Bible says.
In Hebrew, Yahshua. I mean, that's the one thing we as a people can't talk one at a time.
That's a more ancient form of the name. That's a more ancient form of the expression.
Now let me share this with y'all. All men see not the triune Allah. One sees him as a law of might, another as a law of thought, and another as a law of love. A man's ideals is his God. A man's ideal is his God. So as a man unfolds, his God unfolds. Man's God today may not be his God tomorrow, because we agree that a man's ideals is his God. So some people believe,
Garbage,
nah, that ain't garbage, bro. Because you might believe one way, that pork chop you eat tomorrow. That's what you do.
I don't eat pork.
Good. Hey, that's what's up. But what we saying, other people have other ideals, so their God is not your God.
But we gonna have a debate tonight, right? And if you say God don't exist,
the God of the Bible.
The God of the Bible
is an enemy to our people.
Listen, if he don't
exist,
on what?
Because the Bible, the New Testament is a political establishment.
Listen,
the New Testament is a political.
Listen, if he don't exist, he can't be nothing, because nothing from nothing leaves what? Nothing.
He's not.
So you have to put him in existence in some shape.
Trying to get both of y'all in the camera.
You have to
Y'all
put him in
getting a little
existence
slow.
in some shape, form, or fashion. And the way he just described them and put them in existence is love.
No, not God.
Okay, let him go on a little bit. That's good stuff. But what about this? You saying that the God of the Bible is the enemy of the people based on it being a political
the
what?
Bible, the New Testament is a political tool. The New Testament of Rome is a political establishment.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Is Islam not also a political establishment that was used to
It's
oppress?
body politics. But guess what? My Islam is not the Islam of the East. No, but Ali gave us a whole. I don't deal with the United States system. I'm in full mind, body, soul, nationality, and creed. You know, I'm in my full equitable title as a man on the land. I do not pay certain taxes in the United States. My ideals are my guide. So my ideals are how can I put it? They work for me instead of against me. That's all I'm saying. So our people are suffering because we have so many false gods.
Okay, but
Real
from our
Housewives
perspective,
of Atlanta on Thursday night is something about women's gods.
You can't only blame that on the God of the Bible or Christianity. To say the God of the Bible is an enemy of the people. You feel what I'm saying? When any religion
Yes, it is. You know why?
any religion, there's many religions that have been used over the course of history to oppress black people, including Islam.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like it's different forms of Islam.
No, Mohammedism. Because
Who invented the name Islam? Was it Prophet Muhammad or was it?
Exactly, no.
Okay, but where did that name come from?
I mean,
break down
the language.
Shalom or Salam,
Exactly,
peace.
from holy language, because that's what we're working with peace.
I'm gonna go on y'all's brain a little bit, actually.
So what we're talking about is the institution of Muhammad.
So I'm gonna say the better.
Yeah, say the back.
Anybody heard of these guys, NAMBLA? Anybody heard of these NAMBLA guys? Because these are white guys. These are white guys. These are European guys? Oh, no. You had your shot. You could have debated me. You don't get to from the crowd. NAMBLA is the North American Man-Boy Lovers Association. It's a group of white folks that are looking to All right. So, a much more important thing I want to get across, besides the specifics of language, is when our ancestors called themselves black, they weren't referring to a color. Because that's a big thing I hear all the time. People are not crayons. Okay, well, if you look up black's not a color anyway. So I don't even know why people say that. Oh, they call themselves black. We're not crayons. Okay, cool. Black's not a color. Read much? No. White's not a color either. Okay? So black is a process. All right? So when our ancestors were calling themselves black, they were telling you that we're capable of a specific process. All right? This is why they always conferred the genealogy. All right? Because biologically we have access to things people don't. All right? So now, and of course, I'm gonna do some classes to go much deeper into this stuff. Today I was just compiling the information in the kind of debate format. But the fine structure constant, all right? The fine structure constant is a fundamental physical constant that is just used when coupling electromagnetic waves together, all right? And when talking about black, it's important for us to understand that, all right? So I know we're gonna get a little sciencey real quick, but the fine constant structure works with the Fourier transform, and what they do is bring all of the different aspects of the spectrum together and make them one. That's what makes it black. All right? Is that when you get the red, the green, the blue, the indigo, the violet, and it comes together and it's black. That means they're all working in harmony. They're all one color. All right? When you have the white light, that means there's chaos. All right? It's scientific. All right? But let me show you something else. This is inside the eye. I want to show you something that repeats. Inside the eye, you have rods and cones. That's how we see. You have 8 rods for every 1 cone. All right, this is important. I want to show you that again. 8 rods for every 1 cone. All right, because this pattern plays out through every different species on the planet's eyes. You see the 8-in-1 motif, all right? This is just a microscopic look. So you see the 8-in-1, one comb for every 8 rods, all right? When you look in your hand, one hand has the 8 carpus bones that separates us from the other quote-unquote primates, all right? This is what gives us the ability to be at the top of the food chain, all right? These 8 that make up the 1, all right? Every year, we shed 8 pounds of skin. This 8-in-1 motif is important. As the zygote, that original fertilized cell, before it differentiates into individual body cells, it has to multiply or gain momentum, all right, I should say, into 8 cells. At 8 cells begins differentiation, all right? Inside your hair follicles, you have the same motif again. Your cuticle wraps around 8 cortex strands, all right? Noah's Ark, all right? Noah's Ark. How many people were on Noah's Ark? 8. 8 people, all right? Again, all right? This is in theaters right now. See, this is what I was communicating about the histones, all right? The 8, the octode, I mean, what's the word, the octode, all right? The octode are the 8 Egyptian deities that control creation. Those are called histones. They write the information into your DNA. All right? Why is that important? I'm going to tell you. Just preface it, take your notes. I'm going to get to it. All right? This right here we know of as what? Take a guess. Somebody. Who's alive? Not a mosquito. Close. Lightning bug. Firefly. All right? Firefly. This is a problem for Egyptologists and people who've been studying Egyptian information for a while, because this guy right here is all through the information they've been studying, only they haven't noticed. All right? This guy often gets confused with this guy, the dung beetle. And the reason is because a firefly is not a fly. A firefly is a beetle. Okay? We all got smartphones. Look it up. This nigga's crazy. He just said fly is not a fly. It's not. It's a beetle. Look it up. All right? So you have 2 beetles being spoke about throughout all of the coffin text. All right? Some of us are familiar with the Egyptian Book of the Dead, etc., etc. All of those books make up the coffin text. Throughout those texts, they talk about 2 beetles, the transformative beetle and the living beetle, which is what we just looked at. And there's a reason why I'm showing those 2. Because one lights up at night and one rolls shit. This is what this is. This is important. All right? Because they're describing 2 different lineages. All right? And those lineages are always at war. All right? So it's important I go through this just real quick and brief. We all have the possibility for illumination. All right? Lux genes are what are responsible for biological entities being able to emit light. All right? You have the protein luciferin. When the enzyme luciferase comes into contact with oxygen, you have light. That's what happens in beetles and worms and all of the things that we see light up in nature. All right? This information our ancestors communicated to us in the coffin text. I have a class coming up on it. All right? But the antagonist to Lux genes, all right, is A, too much glucose, all right, which we have a problem with already. This is this nasty sugar, right? And iron. All right, now iron is not a problem as long as it stays in the blood cell where it needs to be, but nitrogen pushes it out into the tissues, which stops these genes from being produced or expressed. All right, so the catalyst is low glucose or stress triggers. So anytime you go through a fast, anytime you exercise, you start to activate these genes. All right, you start to produce light internally. Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to say, well, minister, most of us are lactose intolerant. Yes, but that's to the proteins in the milk, not the sugars in the milk. Lactose is a sugar, all right? So we got to get that. Lactose is a combination of glucose and galactose, all right? Why is this all important? Because we're talking about the differences between Europeans and black folks. Why is that important? Because the original blood type has different types of sugars
that create the antigens that separate one blood type from another. So there are different type of sugars that attach the antigens to the blood cell. So when you look at the original blood type, there's galactose. When you look at B, for instance, you have glucose monomers, which is what the antigens are made out of. So there's a difference even in sugars and in how the cell processes things. So I trust me, they were going to bring a scientist out here. I said, I don't know who y'all playing with. So in type O and A, the antigens are made from galactose, like I said, and type B from glucose. All right. Now, galactose also, in the form of alpha-gal, all right, that's just the name of that's the scientific name of the molecule it forms, creates what's called alpha-gal, but what makes mammals allergic to eating other mammals. So now, there are certain mammals that are allergic to eating mammals, and there are certain animals that are not. Okay? So this is how we can talk about who's a carnivore, who's who, and who's from where. What? You interrupting everybody? They might as well hear it. What? Can Tony come up front and do what? And talk to me? You just did. Come on, bro. Daddy's working. Look at all these people. They came to see me talk. Go. All right. So all these 8 sugars, though, are important. And I don't hear people talk enough about them. So I figured I'd mention it at the debate and get some attention surrounding it, because people are they're running away from sugar. Oh my God, such and such said, we got to get rid of sugar. No, it's only processed sugars. These are the 8 essential sugars, just like you have 8 essential amino acids. All right, if you don't have these 8 essential sugars daily, you are not going to be optimally healthy. Okay, you are not going to be optimally healthy. All right. Now, let me give y'all another dagger. This right here. Right? Take pictures of it, take photos of it. Came here in March and took photos of this slide and still wasn't prepared for it today. This right here completely destroys the out of Africa theory. Now, let me tell y'all this. Let me tell y'all the whole out of Africa theory. The out of Africa theory is just a piece of the theory of evolution. Now, there's a lot of black folks that wants to argue because such esteemed scholars as Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and blah, blah, blah have stated. Let me say this about that. You don't get funding unless you bend in a little bit. So you might go give your people 95% of truth, but unless you want us to cut that funding off, you're gonna have to give them this little thing here too we want you to get them. Now, the out of Africa theory is a part of the theory of evolution, which is racist, 100% started by the same people who started eugenics, Planned Parenthood, and everything else. The theory of evolution states that as you go along, you get better. So we started out as the slime, then we grew into the little organisms, then the monkeys, and then we became black folks from monkeys, and then white folks after. So they love it when you get on YouTube and you're like, yeah, because the white man just popped up, blah, 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 blah. Look, the original man, we've been here for millions of years, blah, blah, blah. They're like, exactly, nigga. That's why we're better. Good thing you guys are teaching each other that now. Get out there with that out of Africa theory. No. Cut off the front part and the end part. Don't tell anyone about that. Where we said the white folks are better and it means that, God has decided to choose us over you. Right? We'll cut that part off. We'll just teach the out of Africa theory because that'll make your people feel good because we've been whooping their ass for 300 years. So when you tell them, hey, white folks come from us, it's going to make them feel good because now they got something to hold on to. It's bogus. It's bogus. As soon as you know that the whole out of Africa theory is just a snippet of the theory of evolution, where you're a bump in the road and God's main chosen creation is the white man, niggas reevaluates that theory immediately. So that's why on the radio, when I asked them, I said, who created the out of Africa theory? I don't know. Because when you know anything about science, you know that in order to get a project of research, you gotta get funding. You don't get funding without an agenda. That agenda is pushed by an organization. So how are you going to understand the agenda if you don't know who created it, who's the organization that backed it, who funded it, who cut the check? You don't know none of that. You don't even know the whole theory. How are you supposed to be pro-black? Black conscious, black everything. Meanwhile, you're teaching out of Africa theory. That's as pro-white as you can get. That is white supremacy. That's the foundation of it. That's what they told the Indians as they was killing their ass. No, God chose us. So choose the cross or jump in the water. What you gonna do? Remember, I'm gonna get you, sucker, the window or the steps. Right? That's what white folks told the Indians. Right? Based on God. But here's God. Here's God, the guy Unc says doesn't exist. He made sure. He made sure. He made sure. Single nucleotide polymorphism. These are little signatures in the DNA that only repeat in lineage. Only repeat in lineage. And they don't disappear, they don't go away over time, they don't fade, they don't do anything. They sit there, that's right. They don't evolve, because any changes to the DNA are also present, but you'll see the old versions as well. Like when you go on your computer, if you got an Apple, it tell you you're on 10.6 right now, but you know you went through 10.5, 10.2, and you had lion, before that you had tiger, right? Same thing. Your DNA gives you the proof. Single nucleotide polymorphisms. Now, this completely destroys out of Africa theory, because there's more. This is just a few of them. M91, P97, M31, P82, all of these are single nucleotide polymorphisms that are only present in certain types, certain stock of black folks that aren't present in anyone else. Anyone else. Period. That destroys out of Africa. All you got to do is show some white folks with matching DNA. Right? We seen Maury Povich. No? You are not the father. See? That's what I came up here to do, Maury Povich's job. I came to sit in front of a black man and put the white man in front of you and say, brother, when it comes to little old Timmy here, you are not the father. You did not pass this man cannibal genes to eat other humans. Where do they do that at? Huh? So where's the behavior? Where's the behavior? Where's the behaviors and mannerisms that we've duplicated? Because they got epigenetics now.
So what about the Piltdown man, you know, as opposed to them finding other fossils and doing DNA testing? You saw that out of
Europe,
this. The whole out of Europe.
Watch this. Go on your smartphone and Google search fossil fraud.
That's the Piltdown man, right?
Go on your Google and search fossil fraud. You're gonna find more than the Piltdown man.
But I understand, but that was out of Europe thing, and that we know that was false. So, but all of the other ancient findings is found.
That's incorrect. That's why I said That's why I said.
How was
smartphones? Look. We ain't gotta spend no time on it because there's other speakers on deck. We gotta see a debate. Smartphones will do it. All right. There's something called Egyptian microbiology, and Egyptian microbiology once again destroys evolution and intelligent design. Okay? Because Egyptian microbiology explains the loopholes in both, and it predates them both. But we're not dealing with Egyptian microbiology. Egyptian microbiology is lifted right out of the hieroglyphs in the coffin text. All right? So if you want to know anything about Egyptian microbiology, you can't look up Egyptian microbiology. You have to look up biosemiotics or horizontal gene transfer. All right? Horizontal gene transfer is how genes are transferred from one species to another. One species to another, meaning a monkey can pass a gene to an alligator. And over time, if that gene finds fertile ground inside the alligator's body, it will become a part of the active DNA and replicate. This is how it looks like things are evolving. They're not. They're picking up genes from things that they live in close proximity with. Has nothing to do with evolution. However, the distribution of that DNA throughout the planet can be consciously guided. All right? That's what we know of as a virus. That's my favorite DVD I ever did of myself. Virology 101 and 102. A virus is simply foreign DNA. We have to know that DNA floats, it travels. Foreign DNA is a virus, that's all it is. So people's like, oh, well, Minister Inky, you know, I cook the chicken real good, I make sure I kill all the germs. How? Every bit of it is virus, like it's 100% virus. It's all foreign DNA. You're not a chicken, nigga? You're not a cow? It's 100% foreign DNA. DNA gives your cells instructions. Why would you want to give your cells cow instructions? How can you be healthy like that? You know, you gotta get deep. So Egyptian microbiology then killed this. Now the problem I have is with, not with white folks, with our scholars. Because white folks, let me tell you something about white folks. The more I study, the less I'm getting angry with white folks. Serious, more angry with black folks. White folks doing what white folks supposed to do. They taking care of white folks. Shutting down everybody else. That sounds like a plan. We need to be taking care of ourselves, shutting down everybody else. But we're not focused on that. All right? So I'm gonna try to move through it a little faster. All right? So I want to get to some stuff. This was another thing for Unc. We all seen Scrabble, right? But I wanted to just show that the odds on a human being created, right? That would be like me taking a handful of Scrabble letters, throwing them up in the air, and then rearranging themselves into like a complete sentence. Right? Not really. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it wouldn't even be a complete sentence. It would have to be 11,000 books of complete sentences back to forward. How the hell could it not be a God? Information can only come from intelligence. Information can only come from intelligence. That is a fact. Like, you don't gotta get deep. That's a fact. Information can only come from intelligence. You don't gotta get deep. The same person that'll tell you that there's no God, that they're an atheist, will also tell you there's a law of Maat. There's a law of the planets. There's a law of this, there's a law of that. How could there be a law of anything without an intelligence holding it together? How does the law always remain true? Intelligent design. Somebody set it up that way. So just by the fact that you can observe the same thing over and over again means that somebody put it there like that. You don't gotta get too deep for some of this stuff. This is why we're not getting global respect. Look at our boy. No. Look at this guy. This is a white guy. We're all white guys, right? We're not all white guys? Because white guys do this. White guys do this. See, coffin text 184. Coffin text 184, and people say, oh, well, they wasn't vegans because you would see it in the glyphs. You don't know how to read what you're seeing. You think you know what you're reading because you didn't listen to Wallace Budge, the Egyptologist that's hired to make sure you never find out who you are. They say right here, not to eat feces. This is right in the coffin text 184, so we can go look that up. Not to eat.
She comes armed with warriors and not just in the flesh. We've evoked the spirits of some of the best. She comes with the bravery of Queen Mother Ya Asantewa. She comes with the fearless determination of Sister Harriet Tubman. She comes with the wisdom of Lee. She comes with the oratorical powers. Excuse me. She comes with the oratorical powers. I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm a little nervous.
Take your time.
I'm sorry.
Take your time. You're my family. You're my family. Yeah. Take your time. I feel it.
She brings the spirit of new and segment. She brings with her the spirit of I feel it. I'm nervous. And it's all coming up at once, so bear with me.
time.
It's all right, BT. So it's fine.
She brings with her the spirits of Elaine Brown. She brings with her the spirit of Sojourner Truth. She is one with the spirit of Asata Shakur. Actually, I don't think you can handle much more, so open your minds and just remain receptive. You don't have to agree, but you'll have no choice but to respect this. Because I'm introducing to you another female warrior.
That's right.
Fighting fearlessly like so many before her.
That's right.
Her shield of accurate information protects her from false teachings penetration. Molding her sword and her gun into a more powerful weapon, her mind and her tongue. So without delay, it is my honor to say I introduce to you my sister, my best friend, Dr. Mayot.
I'd like to ask everybody that's recording to stop recording now that we started the debate. No more recording.
You speak as one of the foolish women speaks. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips.
So Job asked his wife, who he called a foolish woman, a question to see how foolish she was, right? He said, so we accept good from God and not evil? Seeing that he creates good and evil, and he dictates how it's used and when it's used, right? And on who it's used on. So at the end of the day, if it rained, and it rained on everybody, are you going to say God unjust because it rained on all of us? He make it rain on the good and the bad.
Right.
Whoever in here, quote unquote, a sinner or a transgressor of his law, got rained on when they came in, right? And whoever in here is righteous, got rained on too. No respect of person. When he do something, he do it. Now, flip that down.
I see that.
Now, I want the brother to read this for me. Read on.
Job initiation into the mystery. The testing, trying of Job lets us know and also gives us an example of what all initiates must face in life. That with or without a cause, we shall all receive good and evil at the hand of God.
So, with or without a cause, we all shall receive that. Why? Because nature itself, which God made up, right? A mother nature, right? Rains on us, earthquakes, hailstorms, all kind of, what people would call evil. It tore up my house, you know what I'm saying? It threw people across the yard and stuff, tornadoes and all those things, right? So it don't matter at the end of the day what nature calls, it don't matter.
Now Job's wife is criticized by most, but I understand her feelings as do most of you. Although Job called her comments foolish, in reality, she should be credited for correctly recognizing the source of Job's suffering, God himself.
So, he called her a fool, but she was smart. She know it came from God. Why? Because he created good and evil. He created the atmosphere for it, right? So, at the end of the day, she knew. But she was wrong when she said, curse God and die. That's why Job asked her, he said, should we accept good and not evil? If it's a famine, we all gonna starve. But if it's a plethora of food, we all gonna eat. At the end of the day, we all gonna do whatever. Read on. Go down.
Job's wife was one sharp woman. Job acknowledged that this of her analysis of the situation. And yes, her reaction was very human and natural. Job's reaction was very exceptional. Hey, few of us have the integrity of the initiate Job. In fact, that was the very reason why God allowed him to be tempted so severely. James 1:12.
So, now we see that the Bible say, for those that read it, right, at the end of the day, he will not tempt thee above that which you can stand. So since Job was an extraordinary person with integrity, at the end of the day, God tested him. Took his children, right? Did he cry? So when you talk about all this stuff that happened in the world and stuff, and show on the slide right here what you lied about, sister, you know what I'm saying? Are we to cry about it now? We're supposed to acknowledge it for what it is. When you got understanding, that's what you deal with. If you don't, and you lack understanding, you might say anything might fly out your mouth, right? Read on.
James 1:12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Because if you can endure something, you know what I'm saying? I watched my mother with cancer, breast cancer, big ugly scar on her chest. I had to take care of every day, right? But never did I say God was my enemy and look at him, he's killing my mother. You know what I'm saying? She endured that. But she had to endure that to do what? Go to the next life. See, y'all act like this is the only life you live. There's no afterlife, right? Is it better on the other side? Do you want to get on the other side to see? Well, if you want to, you're going to have to die. You're going to have to experience that. And many experienced it before us. Now we're going to be cowards and punks and say, oh, I don't want to go out like that. You still got to go the way it go. Embrace it. Read on.
Job himself said, what? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil?
So now, let's see if one foolish enough to say we not to accept both. Take us all the way up to the top. Alright. So this say God declares what? The end from the beginning. We know what a cycle is, right? We know what 360 degrees is, right? What it do? It take us right back to the beginning, right? We talking science now. Right. Take us right back to the beginning. When God created the world, what did he say? It's perfect, it's good, everything is good. Then it got corrupt. He brought Adam up, as she say, made him the first by the text. If you don't like the text and you prejudice against it, cool. But by the text, he brought him up. Then he brought the woman. He set it in order from the beginning. So when Adam listened to Eve, and he said, hold up, that's out of order. Put this thing back in order. Then he fixed the problem. But we say it's a problem because he put it back in order. So if you base your argument off the text, and your argument is wrong, then you lose in a court of law. And all of y'all are judges tonight, here in this place and on Town's on TV. Read on.
The Bible from the beginning to the end shows that God is almighty. He is the almighty God. That means the Godhead is in charge of all that happens in the universe, and there is nothing that occurs within the heavenly or earthly realm that God is not supervising. He's in complete control of everything.
Complete control. So when evil come and it come up on the city, what he said? The Lord do that, right? But did the Lord come down and do it? I'm asking you again because she claiming that the Lord God of the Bible did all those things. Prove it. If you tell your child to go empty the garbage, did you empty the garbage? And I know y'all children, do y'all empty the garbage and do she? Right. Your mama don't do what you do. So therefore, she didn't empty garbage. You did. So God did not kill the people. The people that work for him, or he sent to kill them, killed them. That's simple logic. Read on.
Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
Read on.
Psalms 5:4, for thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee.
That's right. So he said evil should not dwell with him, right? That's why Satan, who's the father of evil, don't dwell in heaven. He got tossed out. We can go to Revelation 12, read about him. We can go to Ezekiel and read about it, say, oh, Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? So he don't dwell with God no more. And when he come up like he did when he came up against Job, didn't they? Right? Accusing him before God. And God said, you move me without cause against this man. But all the same, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put him in your hands, and you do what you will. Just don't take his life. That was a test. We all get tests. If you ain't never been tested, you ain't never lived. Right. Go down. Let's read.
So Satan, the one God uses to do evil. Indeed, we are told in the Bible that God not only creates good, but that he dispenses to any in the universe as he pleases.
Stop. The one God used to do evil, so do God do the evil, or the one he uses?
Satan.
Do you take out the garbage and do she take it out? You answered the question already. Read on.
But he also creates evil and uses it in the best way he knows in order to accomplish his purpose.
Now, she said based up on the text, right, that God creates good and evil. Now the question is, what is the evil that he created? You got to answer that question. If you don't know what he created, then you can't explain to people if everything that was done that she was showing was truly evil or not. Because evil is a term used when certain things happen, right? To some people, what's evil is good. To some, what's good is evil. Because they got it mixed up. They done learned the knowledge of good and evil, but they can't discern between the two. So if you don't know what evil is, or you can't define it in the Bible, then you'll need to be talking about evil. Because you don't know. Let's read.
God says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Isaiah 45:7.
Okay, so we all know in here, all the African, black African power and stuff, right? If we want peace, are we gonna go to war for it? Or are we gonna sit around and get our teeth kicked in? And if we go to war, will we have to take some lives? Will we have to get our hand bloody? Will we have to do what they call evil? Or would you call it evil when you do it? You'll call it liberation. Right. I'm liberating my people. This is for the greater good. You gotta go. For us to be here, we gotta take you off here. You gotta go. Right? So if evil don't dwell with God, and God chooses to be in the heaven, and he throws Satan out, right? And then he come to the earth and he want to dwell in the earth. Do you think evil gonna be here when he come to dwell? Evil can't dwell with him. So now, he said he's gonna create a new heaven and a new earth. If evil ain't in it, then it's a new heaven and a new earth, right? Yeah. So let's read on.
Yes, God creates evil. And Amos 3:6 is one of the many scriptures that shows that God created and uses evil in any way he wants.
So he created and used it any way he wants. Just like you create a gun, you can use it for good or evil. Any way you want. Read.
Type of beings in creation.
No. Read on.
Israel doctrine is the mystery system. The formal term Israel doctrine is used to describe the oneness of the divine authority of the God of Israel. The instructions or teachings that was taught as principles to his ministers, the men of the nation of Israel, for whom Israel doctrine was named after. Therefore, the doctrine is credited to the God of Israel, Jesus, and those who build up upon him, to instruct the rest of the sons of Adam. Now, Israel doctrine has been established through the activities of this chosen. Yes, the ones God foreknew, who he gave the mystery to the kingdom of heaven to.
So, the mystery of the kingdom of heaven, that's what we're here to deal with, Israel doctrine, which is the word of God from Genesis to Revelation. All that she put up there and read is Israel doctrine. And he did to Israel. And she keeps saying she's not Israel. But then she said when he was dealing with Israel, he did this to us.
Right, that's right.
Do you know who you are or not?
Right.
Are you confused if you're a part of the pack or out of the pack?
Right.
But she keep telling y'all Africans, y'all not Israel. But then she joined herself in when God is taking care of Israel.
That's right.
She put herself in the nation. Why? Because she wants to bamboozle you. Read.
Israel doctrine is a teaching or instruction that the God of Israel gave to his chosen people, Israel. It refers to the content of what has been taught. Israel doctrine refers to the teachings of, or what is taught by the protocol of the God of Israel. All scripture, which is Israel doctrine, is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17.
So now, let's see, because she followed the rules that I gave her the other night. If you're going to prove something out of the Bible, you got to go in the Bible. And she did a damn good job. I give her a hand for that. Y'all should give her a hand for that. I give her a hand for that. If she fails, at least she tried. Most people won't do that. That's why I give credit to the sister. That's why I said a female and a male principal is in the house tonight. We won't let knowledge be born, right? So now, flip down. But that's what the scriptures is for, people. To make sure everybody get this thing right. Matter of fact, go to, Bible. Go to Ecclesiastes 12. We want 9 and 10. Because this is going to tell you what a preacher do. See, a lot of y'all got problems because the preacher didn't have over y'all before. Right. He picked up the book, told you a lie, you went for the lie, then you found out it was a lie, now you mad at the preacher and anybody to pick up the Bible. Right. That's your problem. You don't want to sit down and hear a lecture or a teacher on the Bible and go through the scriptures and take the time out to find out what they say. Then you get up and then you get your own interpretation and lie on it and stuff, and people gonna check it out and found out that you lied, and they gonna treat you just like they treated the preacher. They're gonna be mad at you because you done told them a lie when they trusted you with the information. Read.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 9. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs.
Now that's what the Bible consists of. Proverbs, dark sayings, allegories, this, that, and the other. When you deal with Genesis, Adam and Eve, that's pretty much an allegory, people. It's a big story in the story, whether you consider it literal or figuratively. Read on.
Verse 10, the preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth.
So she brought us what was written, and they upright, even words of truth. But she twisted them to her own destruction and yours too, as they do Paul's writings and the rest of the gospel and the rest of the Old Testament, right? Let's get back on the PowerPoint. Did you go down one? We on the right? All right, let's read.
Let's take a look at the protocol of God, which is a key to success in the mystery system. Revelation 1, verses 1 through 2. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Jesus Christ and of all things that he saw.
So, this is how the Bible got to us, people, based up on this literature here. By inspiration of God, these things was written. And they upright, even words of truth to those that know the truth and can discern good from evil. Let's read.
God's protocol, or the order of things. God the Father gives a message to the Son. God, the Son Jesus, gives a message to the angel. The angel Gabriel gives a message to the children of Israel. The servant, the children of Israel, gave the message to the rest of the sons of Adam. This is what the children of Israel are chosen to do. They are chosen by God to teach the rest of the sons of Adam the word of God.
That sounds like a corporation.
So now, God is a government, he's a corporation.
Right.
And all entities are on one accord with doing the business of God, whether it's good or evil. Whether it's good or evil. If somebody need to be killed, we get the killers out. Ain't that how you do it? If you need to go to the courthouse, what you do? You go call the lawyers up. Right? So when God put a bounty on your head, who you think he's seeing? When he went down to Egypt, he said he had to destroy you with him. He had to destroy you with him. I see the blood, he cool. Because he is listening to what I said. He's not disobedient. Him, he disobedient. Get him. Go in there. If he's in there, get him. The firstborn. Everybody talk about that, but they'll talk about the Pharaoh at that time that told them to kill off all the Hebrew males. So now, that's why you don't want to be in Kemet, right? That's why Mayot comes from Kemet, but we don't want to be stuck in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? The owl, Horus, right? That's the owl, Horus? Or Ra? Which one?
Don't talk about it.
Anyway, then she wearing bats in the eye. But all that stuff come from where? Africa? A Pacific place in Africa. Read it. Go to the next slide. Well, we did that. We're back on the mystery system. Read it.
Israel mystery system revealed. The Israelite mystery system is dictated by two axioms, salvation and reconciliation. To the full will of God, which he called from the beginning. And salvation is central to all mystery systems.
So, we see salvation, which what? Salvaging the souls of many. Even those that die in war, famine, or anything else, been raped or whatever, they soul go where? Man come from the dust, he go back to the dust. You ever heard of resurrection? That's life after death. He gonna call you up out the dust. So it don't matter how you die, it matter how you get up. Because if you get up wrong and you die wrong, then you got something to deal with in the afterlife. Read on. For eternity.
According to George G.M. James, the earliest theory of salvation is the Egyptian theory. The Egyptian mystery system had as its most important object the deification of man, and taught that the soul of man, if liberated from his body fetters, could enable him to become God-like and to see the gods in this life and attain the beatific vision and hold communion with the immortals. Ancient Mystery, C.H. Vale, page 25.
So, George G.M. James said the Egyptians, that's why don't you want to stay in Kemet, because Kemet got a mystery system, and he's trying to savage souls down there. Salvation. That's what the Bible is about. All that other stuff is just to fill up the pages to a degree. It's to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, but if you don't understand these two principles, or axioms right here, then you got a problem. Salvation of man and reconciliation between God and man. You got a problem with me? Let's reconcile. Me and up, we've been arguing, fighting, cussing people out, doing all of that. We reconcile. I hugged the man the day he hugged me. He a God killer. You know what I'm saying? And he got a female God killer now, I see. But at the end of the day, reconcile. So man got a problem with God, God got a problem with man, but he want to reconcile. That don't sound like an enemy. And then she make the statement that, what was that? The man repented of killing somebody. Like that's a sin. I'm finna kill you, but then I said, nah, brother, I ain't gonna kill you, I'm gonna let you live. You got children, you got a wife, go home. But that's evil now, huh? Repenting. God repented, he wanted to kill him up, right? That's what she read. He repented, but he evil now. That ain't a friend. If I give you your life, you a friend. Because if you're an enemy in war, what you do? Take him out. That's a casualty of war. And we talking about spiritual war here as well as physical. And God deals in both realms. Read on. Go to the next.
Those who are initiated into the mystery system of the Bible, Israel, understand salvation as a means by which God, through Christ, saves man from the penalty of sin and gives him eternal life in his kingdom through obedience to his word.
And what's the penalty for sin? The Bible says the penalty for sin is death. So if he's trying to save you from death, which he can't save you from the first one, all man is promised to go to the ground. But that second one, which is the lake of fire, oh yeah, you can get away from that. But if ain't nobody teaching you that, and even as the Egyptians was trying to learn about that and deal with that, you know what I'm saying? You have no hope. You have no hope because that's eternal life on the other side. Who have y'all seen came back? Y'all don't believe Jesus came back. So show me anybody else.
We came back.
Show me Jesus came back. I ain't seen him.
We came
Nigga, you ain't never died. Nigga, you ain't never died. Let's go.
And Jesus didn't either.
The process of initiation includes one's calling, repentance, baptism, and the receiving of the holy message, spirit, life of faith and obedience, and the final birth into God's kingdom as a spirit being. Now salvation is a free gift given from God, established by the law through grace, with our ultimate reward given according to our works.
It's a free gift. How many enemies give you a gift? You might have a little surprise in it if they do. God gave you a free gift, right? we gonna spit on Jesus based up on the story. He's a friend. Matter of fact, he's the God that y'all talking about. Unbeknown to a lot of people. And I know some Israelites don't agree with that, but that's cool. We'll have to debate that and go through the text, but let's go.
Therefore, to be in a state of salvation is to be reconciled to God and to have a relationship with Him, to love Him supremely and our fellow men equally.
Oh, love God and your fellow brother. That's the greatest 2 commandments that Jesus gave us, right? And as the Moorish brother said when he brought out the Circle 7 Quran, Jesus is a principle even if he ain't real. He's a principle. He's a principle. You stand on principles, right? If you're a principled person, if not, then you say the hell with it and do whatever you want, right? Some Aleister Crowley stuff, do what thou wilt, right? Whatever I feel like. If I feel like pissing on stage, I piss on stage. Y'all might not like it, but if I do what I want and that's what I want to do, you have to accept it.
Time.
Right?
Brother, that's time. It's been 40 minutes.
Yeah, you got yours. Go ahead, finish this thing. You can finish your thing, though, bro.
Finish your thought.
Nah.
Finish your thought.
Nah. Don't play by the rules.
Play by the rules.
You put it down, bro.
That's a good job, bro.
Hey, man.
Y'all sick.
Hey,
Put that priest out.
We're going to take a musical intermission.
Okay, that's what.
I want to know who did your DNA, what's the name of that company, and who owned it.
The person, no, I got mine done by African ancestry, by Rick Kittles.
Ooh.
That's a black man.
Got him with
That's a
that
black genealogist.
Can't jump in.
African ancestry. They're located in Washington, D.C. Now, brother, I have a question for you. Since you bring up Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? It says that it prophesies our slavery. Now, we as Africans, right, living over here in America, we are in a conglomerate of African tribes, right? Are you saying that all of those tribes were Israelites?
Right there, the whole fucking time, man.
Hold up, let him answer the question. You asked me a question, I answered it. I told you that it was done by Dr. Kittles, and the African, his name is Dr. Kittles. He's a black guy, a black genealogist over in the African ancestry. So that the institute was founded by 2 black people, Dr. Kittles and now she's not a doctor, her name is Gina Page. 2 black people, a black female and a black male. They started African ancestry, and he is a genealogist that traced back my mitochondria. So it was done by black folks, not white folks. And since you brought up Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I'm familiar with it. I read it, brother. I read the whole chapter. In the beginning, it starts off, and God is saying, hey, for Moses, he's saying, look, if you obey God, I'm going to give you all these blessings. Blessed is this, blessed is that. And then when you get to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 and beyond, right, it starts talking about the curses. And one of the curses were, what was, that it was slavery. But my question to you is, brother, if we are a conglomerate of African tribes, are you trying to tell me that all of those tribes were Israelites? No.
I'm gonna get it together, yo.
So you can't say that that prophecy, right, is relevant to all of us.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good point. You made my point. You made my point. The brother made my point.
If we know that there were multiple tribes, and how do we know if we are actually genetically connected to any of those tribes? How do you know that? The question, at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I'm an Israelite. This is what you feel in your heart. It's just like when you say, some people say they love you, and they thinking of a warm, fuzzy feeling inside when love is really an action.
That's right.
So we have to take actions towards finding out where the genealogy actually leads to, because at the end of the day, we're just speculating what we are.
That's right. That's right. So my question to you, brother, since you're an Israelite, did you chase your Y chromosome back? Or you might have mitochondria back? Oh, okay. So next question.
You got one there with the
Did you trace your Y system? I'm
in the process of doing it.
All right, now you know to Israelites that Y is very important. We know that the rest of the conscious community don't care about the fathers and so on and so forth. But in Israelite culture, you must trace the why in order to get some sense of accuracy.
Can I say something? Because I'm familiar with the Israelites, brother. I know what you're saying. Y'all say the seed. Let me tell you the analogy y'all use. Y'all kill me with this shit. Y'all say, this is what y'all say. The seed, let me tell you what y'all say. Oh, it's about the father, it's about the Y chromosome. That's what y'all say.
It's about the mother, it's about the X chromosome.
No, it's about, hold on, let me finish. You just said that you trace your Y. And I
didn't say that I traced
No,
my
you
Y.
actually got traced. I don't have a Y. That's first of all. I'll have to get my brother to trace his Y, because I don't have a Y, right? I don't have a Y. And you know that. I'm an XX. I'm an XX. You have an XY. Hold on, let me finish that. A lot of the Israelites say things like, you are the seed of your father. If I plant an apple tree, a seed of an apple in America, it's going to be an apple tree. And if I take that same seed as an apple tree and I plant the seed in Australia, it's still going to be an apple tree.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, you are the seed of your father.
Okay.
But check this out. The seed is only as good as the soil, brother.
Okay. So check this out.
Let me teach.
Oh, come on.
The seed is only as good as the soil.
Okay.
So don't take.
So when L left Africa, went up there,
let me finish.
Made it with her, and made it with them. When L left,
the seed is only as good as the soil. You agree? You agree? And let me tell you this.
That spiritual
in
crack
genetics,
is whack.
you get 23 chromosomes from your
man
father, and you get 23 chromosomes from your mother. So stop telling me that I am the seed of my father when I had 23 chromosomes from my mother and 23 chromosomes from my father.
Next question.
Let me tell you,
Black power.
You did, because if it's all about the soil, then you said that, L. You said that.
It's the seed in the soil. It ain't just the seed, right?
Lucy left Africa and went everywhere and made it, and so on and so forth. So if it's all about the soil or the mitochondrial DNA, then all of them other transcaptozoids or whatever races that she made it with, if it's about the mitochondrial DNA, then they would still have African descent too, or be Africans, wouldn't they?
No, but they mutated. They mutated, and the Haglo group, they mutated, and they moved.
Right here, right?
When they mutated,
I got a question. All right, oh, let him go next. You finish, you checkmate. Yeah, yo, we could. All of us crazy as a motherfucker.
Here's my question. It's not a shot at you, brother. Well, it's a little. Where was your PowerPoint presentation? No, that was a Word document.
I started out with the power. You was outside. Remember when I walked out there, you said she doing her thing, you need to go back in there? You was outside doing the power.
So can I ask?
All right.
Next question. No. This question is an answer, but I want you to know. Go ahead. About
Only by you, yo. You can't get in. Nope. Can't get in.
What's the connection with this whole DNA?
Inky is not a debate.
Right.
Okay. Well, no, but it's a good question.
I think that we should. I would say this because I don't want to get too deep into it. But in my younger days, I studied with a Hebrew Israelite group on 125th. The reason I left them was because they was accepting anybody into the fold, and I didn't see the proof for genetics. That's why I left.
Okay, so the brother was talking about how male, female, whoever moved around, like what's the connection? Like she's asking about how are we Israelites, for those who claim to be Israelites. With you understanding genes, like how can you give us some type of...
The chromosomes and tracing lineage is a little bit different.
Okay, so...
Tracing lineage is more based on culture.
Okay, so
tracing lineage is more based on culture.
Is that a suitable argument as far as trying to connect us being Israelites or whatever?
Yeah, that's a good argument.
That's a very good argument.
That's a good argument.
The Bible, if you go into the Bible, the Old Testament, look, the Bible is 90% genealogy.
Yeah, they talk about genealogy.
Like I'm trying hit that question again.
That's a good question, bro.
I'm trying to get an understanding. That's a walk away with something like she's asking how are we Israelites? Because my whole thing is that what we're doing is we're trying to find a religion to have a body politic so we can run government and commerce. That's right. So we can survive. So my thing is if we claim to be an Israelite or any type of religion, what we're looking for is a spiritual law that can fund our role in society as human beings. So I'm trying to say, if we claim to be Israelites,
it's not a religion.
Okay, it's
Well, no,
our
I think
religion.
that. Wait,
So
hold
my
on.
thing is,
But before y'all go back and forth, because it's
We're
not
not gonna go back and forth.
What they're doing is they're agreeing with you that it's not a religion, and if they're saying that it's a family, then they're saying that anybody just can't belong to a family, so it has to be
hold up, family name, right? There's two ways to be an Israelite or in the nation of Israel. You can be born in and you can be adopted in. You can sojourn and get the name also. When they came out,
Somebody please tell me 12
basically, it's not that you don't.
Okay,
So you're not attesting whether it existed or not.
No.
You say you don't have a clue, but
I didn't say I don't have a clue.
You say you don't know.
Brothers
Just
and
say I
sisters,
don't know.
Did I say I don't know, or did I tell him I don't identify with any of the characters of
In
the
the Bible.
And I said that I didn't say that they didn't exist. I showed you a picture. I showed you a picture of an Israelite. So now I'm having a conversation with a man that just said.
she said you're not an Israelite.
I just said you're not.
Right. You don't know who they are, but you can definitely conclusively make the claim that nobody else is.
Next question.
All right, next question is, do you know who Mantheo is?
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying next question. I'm just saying.
I got a question.
I'm just saying next question.
I got a question.
So the Egyptian writer, come on now.
He been waiting a long time, sis.
He going off the topic. Who's Matthew?
Let him go.
He's talking about the Egyptian writer. He's talking about the Egyptian writer that Ptolemy said right down in history. Come on now.
I got a question.
Let's read his writings though. That's what we need to do.
Come on, brother, read that.
Some people question whether Matthew exists. Just ask me a question right now.
Say what?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What did y'all learn tonight, if anything?
We that still learn. The Bible is not an enemy.
Alright, that's
You still
really? And it was an enemy.
The hell was you listening to, yo?
He created good and evil.
Good God Almighty.
Man,
good God Almighty. Hey, yo. Hey, I'm with you, yo. But good God Almighty, yo.
Like the God in the Bible.
The shit in the face ain't get you that guy, yo.
What'd you say?
If I have a friend like the God in the Bible, I don't need no
Who these enemies when you got somebody that kill you when you disobey? Who these enemies?
But my thing.
Hold on. I want to say this one thing.
No, Yasi.
I've been quiet too long.
No, I'm quiet too, Yasi. Hey, Nas, you can't do it. Yasi.
It is what I want to say.
I don't know who the Samaritans is.
Never get mad. The God of the Bible get mad. The people get mad. Show me the camera. This is what the God of the Bible produces. This is what the God of the Bible produces. Anger.
It's an older African version of the Old Testament.
Anger. He angry.
King James all day. See, when the truth come out, y'all want to hear
This is what the God of the Bible produces. Madness.
That's the whole thing.
Look at it, madness.
And the God is a pseudo-conscious community.
This is what the God of the Bible
Idiots can get the microphone and go for an hour, but when a man come with some substance, you gotta cut the mic off.
He mad, ain't he?
That's how it is.
Hey, brother, come back, brother.
He's mad.
I'm dusting my feet off. Because what concord had Christ with me lies? None. It's just good versus evil. Satan.
Yo, I just got one more question. I got one question. One question.
All right, hold on.
Please, you don't mind, please.
As they all get knocked down one by one.
Tuesday, I'm going to serve. But me and my house, we going to choose the most high. We going to serve y'all.
Oh, let us speak. Hey, sis. We knock them down one by one. Go ahead.
I'll tell y'all one more question. Okay. Since you my question is, since we'll say we African and we'll say you're right, okay?
I'm white.
She proved it.
That we're right. They proved that we African, okay? What should I be reading to improve myself, and what should we be doing to improve the current condition of so-called black people?
Hey, brother. Hey. Hold on. Now you tell him, get him.
Brother, I don't have time for the foolishness. I'm telling you. We Baltimore.
I know you're asking like that, man.
Let's get that straight.
I get that straight.
No, but you said, at the end of the day, what are we doing in the communities, right? I just feel like like this.
Now, what is our solution? What is
our solution?
Yeah.
In my presentation, I'm going to slide up to this, right, brothers? And I said that we need to reclaim our divinity. And I said that once you reclaim your divinity, know that you're God. Know that you... See, brother, we up here looking for a God in the sky, right? That's what you praying to, a God in the sky. You never saw him, have you? The God of Israel. Have you ever seen him? Have you ever heard his voice? So what I'm saying is...
With a D, trying to go into etymology or something, you can't even spell it all in this word. Fetish is not spelled F-E-T-I-S-H. It's F-E-T-T-I-S-H.
Why you so dumb? Why you so dumb?
But you a dumb.
Why you so dumb?
Because you in here fighting to the word, son. Patriarch. Why chromosome? Patriarch.
He got
man over one
calm down. Hey, dog, come on, little man. Everybody calm down for a minute, man. Come on, yo. Y'all acting crazy as hell, yo. Hey. Come on, man. Hey, cut it out. Cut it out. It's over with. Hey, I blame you, yo. Blame him, yo. Yeah, black people crazy as shit. Just got the brakes beat off them for 3 straight hours, yo. Hey, they good, they good. Hey.
They don't care about the white culture. All they care about is the female.
All right, we're gonna do this. Hey, sister, my yacht. Hey, sister, come on, let's come over here with the civilized people, with the non-Bible people up.
Hey, bro, your partner really just turned it into some nigga shit.
Yeah, he really did.
Now, let's get for real. This is why we can't do business on the international level.
Come on, y'all, let's get, hey, everybody come over here. Hey, we ain't all about
Isaiah Harvey, come on. So you start. That was right. And nobody can hear no.
You don't make.
Hold on, sis.
I was about to call that Ray.
Come and stand in front of me.
Look.
That shit lame as hell. This nigga had to come and stand in front of me.
Hey.
Anyway, like you totally get blocked out.
All you gotta do is turn it off.
You really get blocked out, dog.
You did. Hey, ho. I'm gonna make an announcement. Hold on, I'm gonna make an announcement. Hold on. Wait, let's get this right. Hold on, everybody tripping. Watch this. Hold on, Brother Unc did not get mad when everybody act like said he lost. Now I see like a whole lot of mad people.
Number one,
everybody got to relax.
Now he slipped in.
Everybody got to calm down.
And he lost.
He ain't lose. But the point was, it was an excellent night. Hold on. It's an excellent night tonight, right? I enjoyed the event. You know what I mean? The young buck got a little crazy because that's just how it is. The young buck.
Said he lost. Said he lost on your camera. Said he lost on my camera. I'm getting out the way. I just want to say on all the cameras that said he lost.
Lose, yo. Hey, hold on. The sister stood up for us. With all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
The sister did what she was supposed to do. She stepped up, you know what I mean? It was a great event. Where you at, Israel Doctrine? Where you at?
He left. I think he left. When all that stuff jumped off, he said, I'm getting out of here.
He left.
No, his name got to be changed from Israel Doctrine to Microsoft Doctrine. My man come in here with a PowerPoint. Came in with a Word document. New name. Microsoft Doctrine.
Hey, look, he goes, she brought a come in.
She came in here with 100 slides ready to go.
Hey, she brought a family with her.
He came in here with 20 slides and 2 paragraphs.
Get the whole family in there. Come on, everybody. Everybody come in, man. Hey, it's hard to defeat the whole goddamn family. She brought the whole family with her, right?
It's hard to defeat somebody that's prepared to fight.
Your email on there, right? Let that be a lesson to y'all, man. The sisters always come back. You know what I'm saying? The niggas left out mad.
They sure did. They left mad.
Mad.
Got a lot of brothers angry with Dr. Mayot today. Angry with me today.
Not Yas, bro.
No, not Nasi. Not
Give me Nasi.
Where's my book?
Let Nasi get in there.
Well, let's not put the fatherland on the Africa area. So fatherland, motherland.
Let's get the guy whose fault it
I didn't attack men though.
Come on, y'all.
You sound foolish. I didn't attack a man. I didn't attack men.
Step back.
I
Let's
mean,
get that.
this is my perspective of the whole pseudo-conscious cultural movement.
Come on, y'all.
Suppression of the masculine element.
Hey, come on. Hey, man, y'all, why are you paying attention to him?
You already expected that.
I didn't expect that. They mad.
Hey, y'all see?
They mad.
How you like the event,
This is
bro?
a real Israelite. This is
That's
a
a real
real
Israelite right there. We're going to give you that real Israelite. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, appreciate you having us.
So hold on. Let's do this.
Okay.
Watch this. So who won the debate, Nazi? See, look, once we go home, we can play the YouTube game. It's confusion. We here right now.
Okay, let's go over the topic of the debate again.
I'm gonna have to
Hey,
go.
come on, we're going to interview you. Who you think won? Come on in, brother. Come on in. In your honest opinion, based off of delivery and presentation, who do you think won?
As far as the topic of the debate,
Master, you asked him a trick question.
the topic of the debate was the God of the Bible an enemy or evil?
Correct.
Now, from my perspective, you feel me? I don't see that she proved that the God of the Bible was evil or the enemy of our people. The only thing I got out of it was that he's against evil, period. It don't necessarily matter who it is. It's the concept of evil is different than
Wait, who won?
That's just what I say. That's just my.
So you think she lost? Be honest.
I don't think she addressed the topic properly.
Did she win though?
She won.
If you don't answer the topic, then how do you win?
So she lost?
From my perspective, yeah.
Okay.
I feel the brother won.
Okay, brother.
Because she didn't prove it.
All right.
All right. Next.
I'm gonna have to say the Microsoft Doctrine took an L because you cannot pull up a Word document with stuff. You can't do that. Nobody at home could read it. The audience can't read it. He could have had the best presentation ever. He might have fried Dr. Maat, but we'll never know because we couldn't read it. We didn't hear it. Didn't come through in the presentation. So I would have to go with Dr. Maat. She came with her slides. She came with the presentation. She looked prepared. Topic.
Where you at,
That's all I want to hear addressed. Anybody address?
If you look at the debate, you see that the crowd was mainly neutral. It wasn't more Hebrews here. It was more neutral.
Right.
At the end, it was.
When it started out, they were kind of heckling her.
Right. Yep.
Then she took over.
Yeah, she did.
No looking back.
Yeah, wasn't looking back.
Oh my God! Look at that face. That face right there say who won. That face say who won.
You basically just the majority
Hey, come on, right angle.
Say much.
Get in right angle.
But we about to turn this whole block area right here into the new one.
Last minute. Where you at? Come back with that. You got to reverse that.
All right, last minute. I'm gonna have to tell them. I'm gonna have to expose Unc with the last minute.
Yeah, expose.
Okay.
But
On camera conked out. Wait. On camera conked out. He didn't know how to charge it. So now he want to hold us all hostage here so he could get more footage because he missed the real footage. Unc, it's over, bro. We seen what happened. My man pulled out a Word document and she just dogged it.
Let me get somebody.
That was it.
Let me get somebody else in here, man. Come. Where you at? Y'all seen the debate? Somebody speak up. What you think, bro?
He didn't address the topic, man. The whole time he was talking about a whole bunch of what the Bible said, but he didn't really prove if the Bible proved if that guy was the enemy. I want to come into this discussion and get what I paid for. I don't want to get somebody just talking about what the Bible says. I could have went home and read the Bible for that.
That's a good point, bro. That's a good point, bro. Where you at? Where you at, bro? Come right here, step around. You got to
What you think, Wolf?
Straight up.
Come on.
We want to hear some girls too.
Yeah, you want to hear?
All the way from Dallas, Texas, Brother Maat. I feel like Sister Dr. Maat kicked ass today, man. She proved God, nothing friendly about God. So if you have a friend like God, you don't need no enemies.
Oh, man.
In the words of Queen T.
Right, Queen did that. Come on. That's real. Come on.
Talk to the camera.
You're a young lady. You just
camera.
seen a sister go in, defend y'all crown.
I think their mom won because my mom.
All right. You know what? See, girls can't even hide. Girls can't even hide their camaraderie. Like I think she won because
she's a mother.
Damn, I can't say girl. Yeah. So before she even came in, the girls already decided who won. So the audience was biased.
Where you at, sis? Talk to us. What you think? Talk to
Grand
you.
opening,
What you
grand
think?
closing.
I think that Dr. Mayot slaughtered him, and the reason I say this is because
She said slaughter.
yes, I feel like all he did was read. I could have read for myself.
That's smart.
He did not come from his own perspective and elaborate on any of it. It was just like, yeah, you heard what he said? That's what it meant. Yeah.
Pictures.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
No, I mean his powerful.
Oh, he didn't have any pictures.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
pictures.
Just read it.
Murder was the case that.
Where you at, brother? Where you at, brother? You don't want to talk? Who you think did that? I mean, how you enjoy that?
Murder was the case that they did.
You neutral?
I'm still learning.
You still? No, we want to know how you think the presentation was. We all students. Come on, man. Everybody is student. Come on back over here, man.
Based on class today.
Based on the day, young brother. How you think who presentation was better to you?
I think Dr. Maat's presentation was better, but I feel that if somebody else went,
Okay.
won the debate for Israel.
Okay, all right.
If they
I
had
feel
presented
you.
it better,
I feel
they
you.
had it better.
It's like,
You got to sit down. Come on, next.
I
Come on,
thought
yo.
there was opportunities.
Hey, come on, man. Who you think? Hey, get in here. Who you think won?
You can't debate the debate.
Your mom. Get over, slide over. Both of y'all, man. Get in the camera. Y'all, man. Good God almighty.
Scriptures brought the facsimile.
Facsimile.
Yeah, she brought everything. All he had was scriptures. She killed read.
Get it back on the camera.
You can't just use one source and call that a presentation. I'm not gonna believe one source.
Oh.
Yo,
Wow.
it's like Bill Cosby said, it don't matter if you bring me steak if you bring it on top of a trash can lid. I want clear content.
Israel Doctrine, where you at, bro?
I want somebody I don't want just a trash can lid with some steak. I want a pretty some pretty shit around it.
All right,
I want
come here,
a
man.
fork, knife, all that.
Hey, Israel Doctrine, how you think the debate went? Come on, brother. And
It was simple. It was simple.
Get back up a little bit.
It was simple.
Go ahead.
You got me in the shot.
Huh?
You got me in the shot.
You're in the shot. Get back a little bit. All right, talk to us. How you think the debate went? And your thing, how you think it went? Honestly speaking.
It's simple. She went off topic.
Okay.
So when you go off topic, you're debating something else and you're not on subject and title.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now we know how people judge the House of Consciousness debates.
Okay.
We know everybody like the PowerPoints and the pictures, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But we stayed on topic. We showed the God of the Bible deals with salvation and reconciliation. And that's the problem with a lot of these communities. They don't know how to reconcile and make peace where peace needs to be. You know, we seen that tonight with people talking to each other, and then it got out of hand a little bit because people don't know how to make peace. And that's what it's about. The God of the Bible is trying to make peace from man transgressing and sinning. You know, it's simple as that.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
For someone.
Wait a minute, hold on. I don't want to catch a crossfire shot.
For someone who feels like they do not conform, believe, or what the Bible says, is it possible for you to go outside of the scriptures and still make the points that you're trying to make? Can you elaborate on any of this stuff that you're reading out of the Bible?
When I say reconcile, like I said, me and we've been fought like cats and dogs over blog talk. To the point where it's like when I see you, I'm put hands on you. But we hugging and shaking hands tonight. That's reconciling our difference.
Why didn't you elaborate? Why didn't you go outside of the scriptures on your presentation then? You didn't have that would have I'm sorry, but that would have validated it more for someone who's watching who does not look at the Bible like something that I'm this is coming from the Bible, so it must be true. You understand what I'm saying?
I went out some. I just didn't stay out.
You peaked, but I mean, you ran back in.
I mean, because number one, the Bible deal with life. We talking life and death, right? That's what the whole thing.
Yeah,
Good
that's
and
your
evil.
view of it,
We
though.
talking
I'm
all of
talking
that. We
someone who
talking
doesn't look
real
at the Bible
world
like
stuff. We talking real world stuff.
But you
They got
staying
the
in the
talking.
Bible with
Listen,
it, though.
they got the talking right here. You asked me right now, so I'm putting it to you like this. The audience that was listening to a debate about the God of the Bible. Now, you say I want to go outside of the Bible to start dealing with the God of the Bible, and you start dealing with other stuff, you get off topic. So, in debate form, when you're dealing with a subject and a title, you debate the subject and title. You don't debate anything else. But most people do that. They change the debate, and then people start listening to that debate, and they forget all about what the debate is about.
But if you're trying to prove something about the God of the Bible,
I'm gonna do it from the Bible.
But
which is
that's
hard
all
to
the
do.
evidence is inside of your book.
Which is hard to do because people hate the Bible and don't want to go in the Bible. But in a scholarly realm, do you not deal with literature and text? Pictures and other things to get information to use when you want to present it or whatever, tell somebody about something, right? So when you deal with the Bible, you go into the literature, see what it says, and deal with what it says. Now she went in there, like I said, I give kudos for that, because she went in there and got scripture. But when you go in there and get the scripture, you don't use it right and you twist it, then, you know what I'm saying, you should leave. She said that in Leviticus, when he said, give me your firstborn, that he was going to sacrifice it. Now you would have to prove that. You can't prove it.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm a dad.
Okay, what?
Wait, I'm a dad. The fact that me giving anybody other than my children's mother my firstborn is already a sacrifice, even if they just live next door.
I mean, a sacrifice is basically giving up something in this basic term, right?
Sacrifice. So then, how would you say that that would not be a sacrifice? The moment you give it up, it's a sacrifice.
Listen, at the same time, he said
sanctify the firstborn, not sacrifice. Sanctify means separate.
Yeah, it didn't say sacrifice. It didn't say sacrifice.
Sanctify.
Right.
She extrapolated.
Well, no. In the English joints, they say sacrifice in these joints.
And what?
In the current Bibles, it says sacrifice.
We gonna deal with that. We'll deal with that another time, but right now.
Right.
Which current Bible?
That's a problem. See, right there, that's a problem when you have a. You know what? When we have scholarly Bible, you know what? This is a new issue. When we have scholarly debates on the Bible,
which one?
It's just like the Floyd Mayweather and Medina. Before they fight, they had a big problem over who gonna use what gloves and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There's to be a new rule. We're gonna deal with this Bible. This is the one we're gonna use, and we're gonna do because the brother that
KJV.
But I was gonna say, let me say, Mayot did refer to more than just
KJVs now.
Mayot did refer to more than just the
had on the screen did not say sacrifice at all.
But see,
she extrapolated that word in there and added that too.
This is what happened. This is what happened, and then we always got people out there saying the Human Rights Squad, right? They're scholars, right? And they built to deal with academica, right? So now look, when she put them scriptures up there, she didn't say she was working with KJV or NATB or whatever, right? So the way they read may not have been the way they was read in the KJV. So it's a lot of things that went on technically that wasn't scholarly like. Now she got a degree, I don't. She got that paperwork from high.
That's why she came with that paperwork.
Facsimile.
Yeah, you ain't no facsimile.
I had the text and set. I had the primary text and what you deal with. Right?
It's real doctrine.
It's real doctrine.
Did I need to deal with some other text? No.
Do you feel like
In
if
regards
you
to
the
enemy, it depends on who you with.
That's for the scholars. Your mother's
That's
scholar.
pretty much what it depends on. If the guy was friend of the enemy, it depends on who you with. If you're not a Hebrew Israelite,
I believe that is probably the most accurate answer.
I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. He ain't my enemy. I'm Israelite.